Hello and welcome to Government with Dr. Turner. Today we will describe the ways in which the national government can influence the states. When Congress wants to address a policy issue at the state level that has national implications, its major tools are money and authority. They can provide funding for the states to do something, or they can make rules that the state must follow, or they can do some combination of both. If the federal government makes no rules and provides no money, then they have no influence over the states. The states may act as they wish, and there is no guarantee that the policy issue will be addressed. If the federal government grants money with very few rules attached, these are known as block grants. Generally speaking, state lawmakers prefer block grants to other forms of federal funding because they come with fewer conditions. Although states would prefer this type of influence, maximum funding and minimum rules, this type of grant is rare. Congress has been reluctant to use block grants to achieve policy goals because they might allow states to do what they want rather than what Congress wants. An example of a block grant is the Community Development Block Grant. Funds are provided to, quote, develop viable urban communities by providing decent housing and a suitable living environment, and by expanding economic opportunities principally for low and moderate income persons, close quote. This wording would give states considerable freedom in using funds in broad policy areas. A political problem with block grants is that it is much more difficult for members of Congress to take credit for the program. If the federal government provides money with a lot of rules on how it's used, these are known as categorical grants. Categorical grants provide federal money to states with many strings attached. The federal government provides detailed instructions, regulations, and compliance requirements for states in specific policy areas. An example of a categorical grant is the Flood Mitigation Assistance Program. The federal government provides funds that can be used for projects that reduce or eliminate the risk of repetitive flood damage to buildings insured by the National Flood Insurance Program. As you can see, that's very specific. These grants give the federal government more control over how the money is spent and also allow members of Congress to take credit for bringing the money back to their state. The federal government has been able to get states to do what it wants through the use of categorical grants most of the time because states have become financially dependent on federal aid. Federal orders that require states to operate and pay for programs created at the national level are called unfunded mandates. States do not like unfunded mandates, but they are becoming more common. States are often forced to comply under threat from the federal government. For example, although the states have the authority to set the minimum drinking age, the United States has a national legal alcohol consumption age of 21. This is true because the federal government threatened to withhold highway funds from any state that didn't have a drinking age of 21. Other unfunded mandates include the Americans with Disabilities Act and the No Child Left Behind Act. Unfunded mandates have prompted some to label the new relationship as coercive federalism, in which states are pressured to adopt national solutions to local problems with minimal state input. Let's review. When Congress wants to address a policy issue at the state level that has national implications, its major tools are money and authority. If the federal government grants money with very few rules attached, these are known as block grants. Categorical grants provide federal money to states with many strings attached. Federal orders that require states to operate and pay for programs created at the national level are called unfunded mandates.